Okay, so this is the next video in the sets of videos that I'm supposed to be sending you to help you do your literary analysis SkillBuilder packet. In the last video, I talked about how to do the first worksheet, which is evaluating characters and events. It's your reading standard for the Iliad, or one of them I should say. And the last thing that I talked about was how in the second event here, which is Agamemnon offers to return the priest's daughter, but in exchange he wants Achilles' prize, which is Briseis, and what his motive, what I, as a student, if I was a pretend student in the class, I would want to, I would explain that his motive would be because he is, I would put right here, his prize has been, his motive is because in order to recover a war prize, because his prize has been snatched away, because he has to give Chryseis, I should say. And my evaluation is based on his motive and the action that he does. I would say that he is proud, and he's greedy, and he's afraid. He cares too much about his reputation. I would even say to a certain degree he's insecure about himself, because he refuses to show any kind of weakness in front of the people that he rules, I imagine. So he does not want to seem weak. So I would say he's proud, insecure, and greedy for sure. So that would be my evaluation. That's an example there. But moving on, and hopefully you can ask me specific questions if you're still having problems here. But I want to move on with this video since I only have 5 minutes per video, and I'm going to move on to the next sheet. Here we have from the Iliad Book 1, pages 182 to 194, we have the characteristics of understanding the features of an epic hero. This is a literary analysis standard. Can you interpret the genre itself? Can you tell what makes an epic, a Greek epic, an epic, and more specifically, what makes an epic hero? So here are the directions quickly. An epic hero is a larger-than-life figure whose actions are central to an epic poem, usually male. The epic hero participates in dangerous adventures and accomplishes great deeds that require courage and strength. Often he is assisted by supernatural forces. Use a chart to evaluate. Again, we're evaluating. Again, we're using the standard of evaluation in order to figure out what an epic hero is like, or to analyze our epic heroes in the story. In this case, we're talking about Achilles. Use a chart to evaluate the extent to which Achilles acts like an epic hero in Book 1. In the first column, list Achilles' larger-than-life qualities and actions. In the second column, list Achilles' human weaknesses and unwise actions. Now, this is important because if you remember, Achilles is half god. His mom was a goddess. Okay, and so therefore, because he is God, he is part God. He does have a lot of divine qualities. We know that he's obviously very strong. He's a strong warrior. And we also know that he establishes a lot of weaknesses that show his human side. All you're doing here, this is so easy. All you're going to do on this chart here is that on this side, you're going to write what are some of those heroic qualities. Like, and I guess you can see these are like, you can include some of those divine qualities, but you also can put some of the qualities that make him that epic hero, that he's larger than life, that he does these great, participates in larger than life great deeds, and that he gets into these adventures. What makes him a hero, an epic hero? What are those strong qualities that show that? And then on here on the weaknesses, you put what are those things about him that are pretty human, okay, that are not heroic at all. There's a lot of them in here. All you have to do is just list them. I don't expect to be complete sentences here, but you should at least write a descriptive phrase for each. You do not have to have all of them filled out, but I expect at least 3 on each side. Okay, and I think there's more than enough here. Quickly on the follow-up here, you do have to do the follow-up. And what ways do you think Achilles' character needs improvement? So it goes back to the chart you did here. Once you wrote down all his heroic qualities and you filled out here his weaknesses as an epic hero, you have to look at him, and again you're evaluating, you're judging. You need to tell in a paragraph. It says your answer must be a paragraph long. You have to tell me how could he be improved? How could his character be improved? And what I mean by improvement, how can he be a good character, for instance? So just write a paragraph explaining answer, reason, details. We'll move on to the next video in the last form.